Value isn't always gold or jewels. Sometimes, the most precious things are far more fragile: stories, ideas, and the knowledge passed down through generations. Sometimes it's just paper and ink, rare books that hold centuries of knowledge. These volumes are silent witnesses to history, preserving discoveries, dreams, and the voices of those long gone. In 2023, over 100 priceless books vanished from the Transylvania Library in Romania. The loss was more than material. It was a blow to the world's shared memory. The thief? Adrian Stoica, a middle-aged, unassuming man with a scholar's touch. He blended in, never drawing suspicion, always appearing as just another lover of books. He didn't break in, he used a library card, a backpack, and patience. His method was as quiet as it was clever. Stoica spent hours in the reading room requesting ancient texts, handling them with care, and then making a switch. He studied the routines, waiting for the perfect moment. He left behind forgeries, so convincing that no one noticed the real treasures were gone. The deception was seamless, the copies nearly perfect to the untrained eye. This wasn't a smash and grab. It was a slow, methodical erasure of history, carried out in plain sight. Day after day, the library's heartbeat continued, unaware of the loss. The library, built on trust, never suspected a thing. Its doors were open to all who cherished knowledge. Librarians believed in the love of history, never imagining someone would betray that trust. Their passion for preservation became their blind spot. Stoica exploited this, turning the library's greatest strength into its weakness. He understood the culture of trust and used it to his advantage. He targeted books from the 16th and 17th centuries, first editions of Galileo, Newton, hand-illustrated guides. These were irreplaceable artifacts, each with its own story. Each book was a window into the past, now replaced by a worthless copy. The originals, with their unique marks and histories, were gone. For months, maybe years, no one noticed. The silence of the missing books echoed through the halls, but no alarm was raised. The fakes sat on the shelves, fooling everyone. Scholars, students, and visitors all trusted what they saw. Stoica didn't just steal books, he stole pieces of our collective story. Each missing volume was a lost chapter in humanity's narrative. He left holes in history, and for a long time no one was the wiser. The damage was invisible but profound. The real treasures slipped quietly across Europe, lost to the world. Their stories, once accessible to all, now hidden away, perhaps forever. Adrian Stoica wasn't just after money. He was obsessed. His fascination with rare books bordered on the fanatical, driving him to take risks most would never consider. A former academic, Stoica knew rare books inside and out. He saw them not only as valuable assets waiting to be sold, but as pieces of history he could control and profit from. He believed these treasures deserved a new life in private collections, not gathering dust in a public library where few would ever appreciate them. His method was meticulous. He spent weeks studying the library's routines, learning staff schedules, and identifying every possible blind spot in the building's security. Stoica played the part of a dedicated researcher, building trust with the staff and blending in seamlessly with the regular patrons. The forgeries were key, crafted by skilled artisans to fool even trained eyes. Each fake was a masterpiece, designed to pass every inspection. He invested thousands in each fake, knowing the real book was worth far more. The risk was high, but the potential reward was irresistible. Over time, Stoica grew bolder, forging paperwork and manipulating the cataloging system to cover his tracks and avoid suspicion. He'd check out a priceless manuscript, return a flawless fake, and carefully cover his tracks in the library's records, leaving no trace of the switch. Stoica became a ghost in the system, erasing the real books from both the shelves and the digital inventory, making it nearly impossible to trace what had vanished. He wasn't just stealing. He was rewriting the library's own history, altering records so thoroughly that even experts were fooled. The librarians never saw it coming. To them, Stoica was just another scholar until the truth finally surfaced. By the time they realized, the damage was done, priceless works lost, and the library's legacy forever changed. The Transylvania Library is a fortress of knowledge, a sanctuary where the world's rarest books are protected behind layers of tradition and security. Its rare books are locked away in a climate-controlled vault, shielded from time and the elements, preserved for future generations. Access is restricted, procedures strict. Credentials checked, purpose verified, and every bag surrendered at the door. But the system was built to stop brute force, not a patient insider who understood its every weakness. Stoica followed every rule, filled out every slip, wore the gloves and sat at the right desk, blending in with the scholars around him. His crime was hidden by his perfect performance of compliance, his actions indistinguishable from those of a devoted researcher. The books he targeted were first editions, Galileo, Newton, artifacts that shaped our world and carried the fingerprints of history. These weren't just old books, they were living history, marked by centuries of use, each page telling a story beyond the printed words. Stoica's forgeries, though convincing to the untrained eye, lacked the soul, the marginalia, the stains, the journey through hands and time. By swapping them, he committed cultural vandalism, severing our link to the past and replacing authenticity with illusion. The library's defenses were strong, but Stoica's deception was stronger, exploiting trust and routine to mask his theft. He hid in plain sight, his apparent respect for the institution masking his betrayal, moving among the shelves like any other visitor. The true loss wasn't just the books, but the stories and history they carried, unique, irreplaceable, and now gone. The forgeries fooled everyone until they didn't, and the truth began to unravel. The real books were gone, and for a time no one knew. The loss hidden in plain sight. The heist was nearly perfect, a masterclass in patience and deception. But every perfect crime leaves a trace, and even the most careful thief cannot erase every shadow of their presence. For months, Stoica was invisible, a regular academic trusted by all. The fakes he left behind were cataloged and shelved, fooling everyone. The real crime? The books were present, but not real. Stoica smuggled the genuine articles out slowly, using a network to move them across Europe. He hid them in vehicles, antique shipments, or with unwitting couriers. To the world, he was a book lover. In reality, he ran a sophisticated theft ring. His motivation was a mix of greed, ego, and revenge against an academic world that had cast him out. He believed he was liberating the books for those who could truly appreciate them, at a price. The rare book market is shadowy, with collectors paying fortunes for unique items. No questions asked. Stoica sold directly to these clients, amassing a secret fortune. He lived a double life, modest academic by day, clandestine dealer by night. The perfect ghost, until the cracks began to show. Let's look at what was stolen. Stoica targeted masterpieces. A 1543 first edition of Copernicus's De Revolutionibus, the book that launched the scientific revolution. He replaced it with a replica, walking away with a cornerstone of history. He took a volume of Maria Sibylla Marion's botanical illustrations complete with her handwritten notes, irreplaceable, early atlases, Enlightenment treatises, even a cryptography manual believed to have belonged to a spy master, all vanished. Each book was a time capsule, its value far beyond money. The stolen collection was worth over 2.5 million euros, but the true loss is immeasurable. Stoica didn't just steal from a library, he stole from all of us. The shelves now hold gaps that can never truly be filled. The money trail was as complex as the theft. Stoica ran a criminal enterprise, selling to wealthy collectors through intermediaries. Buyers cared about rarity and prestige, not provenance. Stoica never dealt directly. He used a trusted broker in Italy to arrange sales. Payments were laundered through cash, shell companies, or high-value assets like diamonds. The goal turned stolen knowledge into untraceable wealth. The underground market for stolen cultural goods is vast, fueled by ego and secrecy. For some, owning a stolen masterpiece is the ultimate status symbol. Stoica understood this perfectly. He sold not just books, but secrets. And for a while, he got away with it. Every perfect crime unravels. For Stoica, it started with Dr. Alistair Finch, a Cambridge scholar visiting in 2024. Finch came to study the Copernicus text, but instantly sensed something was wrong. The paper felt too new, the ink too perfect, the marginalia missing. Quietly, Finch alerted the Ministry of Culture. An internal investigation began, reviewing the most accessed books. One by one, experts exposed the fakes: Galileo, Newton, Marion, all gone. The truth was devastating. Dozens of priceless books replaced by forgeries. The library's heart had been torn out, and the thief had been among them for years. The investigation was discreet but urgent. The staff, shocked and betrayed, began to piece together the scale of the loss. The fakes were good but not perfect. The real treasures were gone, and the hunt for Stoica began. The unraveling had started, and there was no turning back. The library's age of innocence was over. The world was watching, and Stoica's days as a ghost were numbered. Once the theft was uncovered, authorities moved fast. Romanian police and Interpol traced visitor logs. Stoica's name appeared again and again. His past as a disgraced academic and art underworld connections made him the prime suspect. Surveillance led to his network intermediaries, couriers, safehouses. Coordinated raids across Europe recovered over 80 stolen books. Stoica was arrested in Cluj-Napoca, offering no resistance. The double life was over. The pressure had finally caught up. About 24 books remain missing, likely hidden in private collections forever. Stoica received a long prison sentence. The library overhauled its security, but the scars remain. The heist is a stark reminder. Our greatest treasures are also our most vulnerable. Sometimes, the greatest threats come from those we trust most. The story of the Transylvania library will never be the same. The Transylvania library heist is more than a tale of theft. It's about trust, betrayal, and the value of history. Stoica succeeded by exploiting a system built on good faith. Libraries are guardians of culture, but now, security is tighter and innocence is lost. The recovered books are back, their criminal journey now part of their story. The empty spaces on the shelves are a silent reminder of what's gone. True value isn't in possession, but in sharing knowledge. A book locked away is just paper. It needs a reader to come alive. These stories, hidden in margins and dusty corners, remind us to look deeper. If you love uncovering the hidden tales of our world, subscribe for more. There's always another story waiting to be found.